All right, great people, welcome on yet another interesting episode of Random. Today is another wonderful day because I have another man who is a man of great and diverse interest. In fact, my guest today will blow your mind. He's a doctor, but then he's not a medical doctor. He's a doctor of cars. He's a lover of cars. Not the same way Ola of Lagos kind of lover of cars, but he's a lover of cars because he cares for cars. He's a man that loves the art. He's a man that that loves the city, and of course, he's a man of many interests, of many interests. And today we'll be meeting the one and only, the soft-spoken, the gentleman. When I say gentleman, I mean gentleman in and out. You will get to meet him in the course of the show, and I'm talking of no other person than Mr. Tunde Onakoya. He's my guest on the show today, and I'm so sure you will learn a lot. So get your jotters, get your writing pads, because we're about to unravel so many things that will not just interest you, but that will also enlighten you. So keep watching. It's Random, and of course, it's the second season with yet another interesting guest. I'll be back. All right, so I have my guest here with me, the one and only Tunde Onakoya. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much for having me.
I want to ask a question I've always wanted to ask. And in fact, I can't wait to ask that question. Okay. You are a social person. At least I've seen you, but you are a very gentle person. How do you combine both? As in, you are seen, but quiet, reserved. How do you, and of course you are friendly, so how do you, those things seem not to, they don't, what's it called now, they are not compatible, because many people believe that before you are friends with everybody, then there should be an element of loudness somewhere. You've been at a guy, alpha, what you have, I've never caught you in that mode, but then you are always everywhere, friendly with people, and you just have a way around it. How do you do that?
I think I just try not to be obnoxious.
Okay.
There's no reason for me to be obnoxious. I believe I can relate with people. I can be with people. I can support people. I can spend quality time with people. Just be in their presence and perhaps learn while spending time with people, because human beings are very interesting. If you pay enough attention to watch human beings be human, then you have a lot to learn. And that's something that has worked for me. I've yet to meet a single person in this world that I have spent, no matter how brief the moment is with, that I didn't learn something from. Sometimes it's learning how not to do something, what not to do, maybe what to do, how to behave. But there's always something to learn, but you just have to pay attention, and I just do my best to pay attention. So that's why I'm mostly observing.
Wow. You're mostly observing, and then sometimes it comes across as a person is shy, or let me say the person is, when you are mostly quiet, especially in what's it called, but then I don't know how to put you sincerely, because you are quiet but you're not quiet. Because I've been in places where there are conversations and you of course participated, you also come, but then there's still this is it gentleness now that I want to put it, I don't know how to put it, so I can't really say you are shy, but there are some times that you come off as shy. Have you heard that before?
I like to say I'm reserved.
Okay, maybe that's the word I was
Yes,
looking for.
I'm reserved, and I say what needs to be said. Beyond that, I really don't want to say. And sometimes the gathering I'm in, the people I am with, will determine the version of me they want. I'm quick to notice that. I read the room, and I give them the version of me that perhaps is applicable to that environment at that time. And that's it. If people show interest in hearing from me, perhaps they think there's something I have to offer or say, I gladly do that. I make sure I don't disappoint them on that. If people want me to listen to what they have to say, by all means, I'm there to listen. I'm just going to do the listening. So I'm okay. I'm always okay to be behind the scenes. I'm always fine with being part of the crowd. If I go for events, oftentimes I don't want to be in front. I just want to be at the back, absorbing as much as I can, and that's it for me, really.
Well, then that means I have the right person in the studio with me, because from your observation, I want to learn a lot about people, about this city, about events, and of course about your industry. Because the very first time I had you, okay, I've been hearing it before I eventually met you. I think the first time I heard it was with a friend, Professor Apple. He said, "There's this man on Splash. That man can speak English." See, and that man is a mechanical. He can speak English. He said, "I'm Oyinbo ti so Oyinbo."
Are you sure that's not an exaggeration?
No, I wouldn't know, but he gave me a particular example that day. He said he wanted to say something. People I think about Njeni. He now says the thing is it binging? He shall use one. He said that thing. He said no. After listening, I was thinking about that English. That's true. Although Apple can be like that, but then after that, I listened to you. That the particular day we were just talking randomly when we heard your voice. Then afterwards, I listened to you, and then the way you talk about cars, the way you talk, and not just the way you talk about cars, the way you explain it. You know, our people believe that there are certain words or there are certain expressions that cannot be satisfactorily described with English. And of course, that comes from a point of vocabulary deficiency. There are some words that we don't have the right word for, but you seem to have the right word for everything. So now, let's talk about your upbringing. Were you outside the country at any point in time? Do you grow up in what schools? I'm interested. This is the first time I'm asking this question on random. I want to know the schools you attended and what gave you that kind of arsenal of vocabulary.
I'd like to say that it's more of personal development.
Okay.
For me, what is worth doing at all is worth doing well. And I could go down the rabbit hole frequently as necessary. So for me, I spent a lot of time studying and learning. I strongly believe that I do that every day. Sometimes it's first thing in the morning, last thing at night. But I put myself in a position of learning all the time. Sometimes I'm learning from a video. Sometimes I'm doing it reading. I also try as best as possible to expose myself to knowledge. Sometimes, I'd say by absorption. If I'm around you and you say things certain way, I try to check if that's the best possible way to do it. And of course, I'll take that from you gladly. I'd harvest that from as many people as possible around. And I also believe in expression. Communication is a big deal for me. I like when you can clearly articulate yourself, clearly communicate things, while not alienating the listeners or the people that will, be listening to you, ensuring that you are perhaps descriptive enough to make them get it. I know a lot of us think in our mother tongue because we're first, wherever we are from is where we are from at first. But can we actually communicate with people that are not within that particular area, from that particular area, and still be able to articulate our point? So English is relatively universal. We know it's not the most spoken language in the world, but it's relatively universal. So if I find myself with somebody that can speak English from Azerbaijan, can I speak to him in such a way that he will clearly get what I'm trying to say? It's important to me to be able to do that if I want to, talk to those people. So with regards to education, it's an area I really don't go to that much. And the reason I don't go there that much is that we profile people a lot around here, and we tend to put people in a box. I don't like being put in a box. I don't belong to any box whatsoever. I know that I'm a broadcast journalist, as it were, and I made sure that I picked up a certificate in that area. Wow. I also know that I'm a mechanic. I picked up multiple certificates in that area, both within and outside the country. I also know that I'm a business person, so I picked up certificates from 2 business schools, one here, one outside the country. I also know that, I identify as very much as a management consultant. I am certified to be a management consultant. I also know that I was into computers and IT, and of course, I have certifications and diplomas and degrees.
Sorry, I know you don't want to go there, but I'm tempted to ask. Like how many certificates do you think you have?
To be honest, I can't count right now. For example, in the automotive sector, every single certification available in Nigeria, I have. Also from France, from the US. So I picked up
couple of
certifications, diplomas, degrees, here and there. And
okay, let's say we cannot count the certificate. Can we count the degrees? can we put a number to the degrees? Because I'm here thinking management consultancy. Okay, maybe you develop the flair from managing your own business, then you feel like, okay, let me go for that in this. But then when you look at broadcast journalism, you put it side by side. What's it called now? How do we being a mechanic, puts both together, and then in business, yes, we can relate them one kind, but they are not exactly particularly related. It was not a, what's it called now? It was a deliberate attempt to get as many. So I'm trying to understand how your mind works, for you to be interested in this, interested in that, and then feel like I should pursue something in this, I should get something in this, I should get knowledge in this, I should get knowledge in that.
Okay, so the way it works for me is that I see myself as can I use the word professional nomad? Okay. That can move around within professions as I find myself fit. I've always had the belief that there's nothing that I want to do with God's permission that I cannot do. So if you find me tomorrow and you hear that I'm into plumbing, I can assure you I perhaps will be the best plumber around, because I will do a deep dive, go into the rabbit hole, and make sure the intricacies, the details, and everything that matters in that profession is within my grasp. I get it, and I will practice it with as much diligence as humanly possible. Make sure I excel in it. So, being a computer scientist is where I started from. And, of course, picked up Microsoft certifications, CompTIA certifications, became a member of IEEE, Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineering. That was something I was doing. Also got an opportunity to work in the finance sector for a bit, telecoms for a bit. Was also, able to do some social work with NGO. Was also, I've always loved teaching. So I was teaching, not in the sense of being a class teacher or something, but would able to facilitate lectures, classes, trainings. So I found myself doing that. Consultation, because now people know that you do this, they want you to consult for them on this and that. So also went that route, for a bit. At some point, I've always loved cars, been driving since I was very young, and realized that, the automotive sector in Nigeria it's still work in progress as it is now. But the sector in Nigeria, if I wanted to fix my car based on the experience I have, what is the best possible way to deliver this service? By international standards, using local access, local materials, local people, and being able to still deliver things at that standard level. So what does it take to do that? So another deep dive started. I go down the rabbit hole. Got trainings, learned a lot via self-development, but also got trainings, got certifications for that. And okay, so let's start an automotive company where we can actually offer this service to people. Not exactly perfectly, but do it better than it was being done, and continue to aspire to make it perhaps the benchmark for how it should be done around here. So while doing that, it became a case of you don't only just run an automotive company based on your technical knowledge of how to fix it. You then will need some level of knowledge on how to build and run a sustainable business. So that will, of course, push into get more knowledge on how to do this. So business schools call at that time for you to be able to, consolidate on that. Then another learning came from the idea that sometimes when you want to give people solution to a problem, it's important you do the groundwork of making them understand that there is even a problem in the first place. Because if there is no problem and there is no perceived problem or real problem, or it is not identified as a problem, how do you provide solution that is appreciated? So the easiest possible way to achieve that within that sector is to provide public education. So how do we provide public education? We can get platforms. It wasn't in the day, we didn't have social media that much then, so let's do it with traditional media, TV, radio, however we can do it. And we're lucky enough to find people that understood that this can be very valuable to society. In Lagos, popular TV, radio station gave that platform, and we were able to join some of our colleagues that had been doing that before that time to enlighten people. The idea was, if people owned vehicles, can we teach them enough about it to be able to know when there's a problem that needs attention? Can we teach them what it should be like? Perhaps theirs is not in that condition, or theirs is not like that. And then they can seek help to ensure that people get value for the assets that they are investing money in. For a lot of people, the most valuable or the most expensive asset they will ever acquire in life is a car. For some people, that's what it is going to be. And for those that is not a single purchase of a car, it might be cumulatively what they have spent buying cars all their lives. That will be the most expensive thing they ever did. So how do we ensure that people can get the best possible value? Isn't it surprising that a vehicle is used abroad for 10 years, is in Nigeria, within 2 years, we said the whole thing is upside down? What happened? What is the issue? If we can make people understand how this should be, then it's easier for us to tell them that, see, this is the solution to that problem. Would you like us to help you with it? So we're doing some sort of advocacy, but that advocacy gives us returns because we spend a lot of time, spend a lot of energy, spend a lot of money putting together the content that we go to spill on radio or on TV. Because of that, we're likely going to get rewarded. A mentor of mine, Bola Oba, says, if you want to do well in life, be ready to serve people. Gratification can be delayed, but is never denied. So you go in there, you do what needs to be done, you provide public service. A byproduct of that becomes rewards, because you are then able to, one, prove that you are an authority in what you do. It lends credence to what you do, and then it makes them want to have something to do with you. So then they require your service. You provide it as diligently as humanly possible, and then you get rewarded for it. But you have to put something forward first, which is what we did with the idea of radio. So the radio thing started in Lagos. At some point, I was driving to Lagos from Ibadan. Every day in the morning, I'm off to Lagos, and then I return to Ibadan to the workshop and continue the work for the day. And the next morning, every weekday, I was on the way to Lagos for the radio program that was about 30 minutes. We're done with it, and then I returned to Ibadan. Then I pitched it to some other persons in Ibadan. There was a lot of, nah, that's not going to work here. No, this is Ibadan and all of that. Then eventually, Ronke Giwa looked into, she was on Splash FM then. I pitched it to her, I said, see, this will be very beneficial to your listeners. And she's like, okay, can we do this? I'm like, yeah, why not? Let's do it for our people. And then she bought into the idea. She said, okay, so come on, let's begin to do this. And that was in the year 2012.
2012?
Yes, and the rest is history, because after that, we were doing it together for a reasonable amount of period of time, you know. And after we've done that for a while, it became that, you know what, this program will have to take a life of its own, to just stand alone as a program, not a segment within the program, you know. So it became, okay, fine, let's give it this slot, see what happens with it. It did well, you know, in that slot. We've moved it around a bit. I also couldn't possibly do daily, because I used to do daily, and then I'm like, no, we have to slow down. So we cut it down to a number of days. We moved it from morning till evening as drive time now, because, I mean, you have to keep evolving. So the content also over time has been evolving. We've done different modes. It's been talk show, it's been magazine program, it's gone through, you know, its own evolution, and it will keep evolving as well. So now to do that, yes, we have been doing that on radio and the rest. And like, so why not get some sort of backing?
So what inspired that? Because if, for example, public service, like you rightly said, that was the initial part. Public service, let's enlighten our people on this, and of course, over time there will be a reward that will come from it. But let's go with this public service, and then you had a platform where you were doing it already. So ordinarily, anyone will feel, I would have needed a training if I'm looking for a platform, so that I can convince them that I know what I'm doing. But now you have a platform already, and of course I'm so sure by then you've made a name for yourself already. So what still inspired you saying, let me still pick up some certification?
Why not? That's the thing. Why not? At every opportunity, the question is, why not? I think my kids have seen that in me now, and they seem to like it. Perhaps that inspires them to also just go for anything they feel they want to go for, and they're not limited by maybe not having a certificate for it. You can pick up a certificate for it. Why not? If you want. If you don't want to, it's okay. It doesn't mean that it won't work for you, you know. But if you can, why not? Because it just allows you challenge yourself one way or the other. I love challenges, and sometimes I think it even affects me when I looked at it at some point and I'm like, okay, over the past maybe 1 year, I haven't done anything as challenging as I would want it to be, tasking enough for my brain. You know what? what else can I do? And then something will knock on the door, and I'm like, I'm going for this right now.
So I won't be surprised in the next few years if I'm interviewing you again and you've added to your bio a tech bro. That is now a data analyst or a certified tech programmer or something.
So if you look at it from there, I know that I have actually run a computer training school before. Mm-hmm. Yes, I have. I have a few of my students that are still very much in the tech field. Wow. Yes, from graphics design to Excel. In fact, I had a publication on Excel and in those days was PageMaker, Adobe PageMaker, and Microsoft Word. Never published the full manuscript. I have it. I just that was perhaps decades ago. Wow. Now, that I was able to do that. So, well, like I said, anything, just expect anything. If I tell you I'm doing something new, I'm doing it. And there are things I do also silently, there isn't much about it. The clientele is there. We're offering them the service. They are enjoying the service. I don't want to overstretch myself. For example,
You just said you don't want to overstretch yourself.
No, I don't want to.
So what is that? How do you describe what you have done so far?
Well, for example, we do alternative energy solutions, inverters, solar power solutions right now. I do that. A lot of people don't know that.
Anyone watching, listening rather, let's say this is not a visual interview, yes. They will think this man talking should be nothing less than 60 to 70 because he seems to have lived for like you seem to have lived like 10 different lives in one lifetime.
Okay, so the idea is to die empty.
Okay.
When I die, I should be totally empty. So is there an idea that I haven't executed? I don't want it. I don't want there to be one that's left. So the idea is die empty.
Permit me to ask, you should be in your late 60s. You should be in your late 60s.
Ladies and gentlemen, should it be that this man wants to demarcate me? I'm a very young man. Yes,
you look young.
I am,
but you don't sound.
I am.
Your voice sound young, but what is coming out of you does not sound young by any means.
A year can happen in a week.
A year can happen in a week.
It actually can.
How so?
It depends on how you see things. Some things that you want to do in 6 months, the idea is because you said you wanted to do it in 6 months. If you really wanted to do it in 4 weeks, you perhaps would be able to do it if that's your target. So oftentimes the timelines that we give for achieving things is because we give it that timeline. And so we start working based on that timeline. But if you give it a lower threshold, you perhaps will be able to do it. And then there's a lot of information and knowledge out there. If you want to grab it, you can do almost anything you want to do.
So let me ask, do you sleep? Like how many hours do you sleep in a day?
Oh yes, I sleep. My sleeping habit may not be that great at some point, but often is pretty decent. I sleep well.
You look like someone that sleeps well.
I sleep well. I do the very best I can to take very.
So how do you manage your time?
To take very good care of myself.
So how do you manage your time? Because see, you try to, I don't want to say water it down, or you try to demystify the whole thing that surrounds how you grab all this knowledge. But trust me, it's mysterious. We all have 24 hours.
Yes, we do.
And I wouldn't know. I don't want to guess, but then I would want to believe you're in your 50s. I'm just saying. But then, so when we put all this,
I am not in my 50s. So let's clarify.
Okay, you're in your 40s. So if you're in your 40s, yes, and then you have learned so much.
Yes.
You have 24 hours just like every other person there.
Yes.
You sleep.
Yes.
You said you sleep
as good as possible.
As good as possible. So where do you get extra time?
There are times I do sleep banking. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
It's a concept that I learned of sleep banking. if I know next week is going to be very busy for me and I may not get as much sleep as I should, sometimes this week or over the weekend, I sleep. As in, I sleep very well. Sleep through the day if I can, as much as possible. And perhaps that would help me next week when my sleep pattern isn't as great as should be. So yeah, I think that works for me. Also, I know how to slow down. I'm very sensitive to myself. That, you know what, at this time you need to slow down. I also, again, I like to take very good care of myself. I don't just put anything in my body. I don't eat anything. I don't eat anyhow. I don't eat as much. I don't have a great relationship with food, I would say. I like food. I like good food. But food and I, sometimes we have arguments. Like, you're supposed to have eaten. I'm like, nah, not really, you know. So I don't eat as much. But I try to make sure it's quality meal every time I have it. I go to the spa. I get massage when I need to. I use the sauna if it's necessary. I just make sure that I treat my body with respect, because I'm only going to have one till I die. I can't change that.
Yes.
I treat it with utmost respect. I don't disrespect my body. I will not run if I don't have to. I will not jog if I don't have to. I will not climb if I don't have to. I do things that I need to do, making sure that my elastic limit is not exceeded. And that way I don't snap. I'm fine. So absorbing knowledge, I just absorb knowledge. That's the thing.
Time management. I want you to talk about how you manage your time, because like I said earlier at the introductory part, I mentioned the fact that I do see you at some couple of events. So you are not like that that you are always inside the house and you don't go out and just so you go out to socialize.
Yes, I do.
You still find time to study
strategically, though,
and then you still have the time to grab knowledge from all these wonderful areas that we've touched.
Yes.
So how do you manage your time? Because I'm saying this because I also have the knack to do a lot of things, do this. But time management is a major issue for me. Time management is an issue. Of course, I know if my wife is watching now, she'll be like, you spend more time on your phone. I know I have some bad habits and I'm trying to work on. I know if I can cut down on my time, on my screen time, I know I will have more time. But the problem that I have is that if as we're sitting right now, if we're not having this conversation, let's say you're a stranger, we're not talking at the moment, and my phone is off. I'm not on the screen.
Yes.
Give me 5 minutes.
I
don't sleep off.
Oh.
I don't sleep off. So it's like you are living my dream. You have the ability to you have been able to do most of the things I would have loved to do. Get this. But like I said, I have that's why I was asking about time management, and of course how your body responds to things, because like I said, I am that guy that if I want to see a movie sometimes before they start the opening whatever I'm off.
It just suggests that you're tired a lot.
Exactly. And I don't do as much. That's what I'm saying, that I don't think I do as much as you do.
Okay.
But why am I always tired?
Perhaps you're exerting yourself. Maybe I don't exert myself. I'm usually not worried about anything. Yes, I try my best not to. If there's a situation, can you do something about it? Yes, do it. Move on. Can you do something about it? No, you can't do anything. Just leave it, because there's nothing you can really do about it. So worrying is not going to change anything really at the end of the day. And then perhaps you are not allowing your brain to rest. Or perhaps you're not feeding your brain properly. I don't know. I'm not, like I said, I am blessed. I know that. I'm lucky. I know that. I am quite privileged. I don't take that for granted. But also I know that maybe there are certain things that could help us all. Stress is not great for the human being. Our body is not designed for stress. It's designed to, work, rest. Maybe something is stealing away our rest time. If it is, maybe that's where the problem is from. But for me, my time management, I can be very disciplined. And when I say discipline, if there's a need for me to punish myself, I don't hesitate to. If I found myself having doom scrolled on social media all day, just watching, number one, while I'm watching and I'm on social media, I'm learning. So my timeline is often curated in such a way that there's knowledge. I'm still learning. So if I see that, I've actually overdone this, so this means that the time scheduled for reading, because I love to read a lot, the time scheduled for reading has now been taken over by this. So I'm going to tell myself, so that time for recreation tomorrow is going to get cut short to pay back for this time that you have lost to social media that you're supposed to spend reading. So I now plug that time with reading tomorrow. So that self-discipline, I think, really works for me.
Do you think there's a substitute to reading? When I mean substitute to reading, probably watching a conversation like this, watching or listening to audiobook.
Yeah.
Do you think they are substitutes to reading?
Okay, I listen to podcasts.
Okay.
I listen to podcasts a lot. But oftentimes it's accompanying other activities. Perhaps maybe I'm driving. I don't really sit down to listen to it, but I mean, I pick what I can from it. Substitute to reading, I am not sure. I think maybe we are designed to actually learn a lot from reading. I know that reading improves your vocabulary. I know it also allows you increase your I'd say word bank. You know, the amount of words you have in your bank that you can use to express yourself. I also know that reading stimulates your brain in ways that I can't really explain it, but that's how it works for me. I can watch something on video and learn. Yes, you can learn from watching videos. And I think each person should know how best they learn. We don't all learn the same way. Some are audible learners, some are visual learners. Depends on what works for you. And some, they can only learn if somebody is doing it right in front of them, or somebody is tutoring them to do it. So find what works for you and use it. For me, reading has always been it for me. My library is one of the most valuable places I can be for me. I've invested reasonably well in it, and when I find people that read, I'm in my zone, let's talk about it. And I also am eclectic with what I read. I read everything, so it's not that I only focus on one genre or the other. No, I read everything: politics, religion, science, technology, mythology.
I'm sorry to say, but you don't strike me like someone that we're very, very interested in reading about religion.
Oh, I do. I am very,
because
very
I've realized that from this conversation that I've always had here, and of course general conversation out there, I realized that the more people read, or the more versatile or exposed people are, the less interest they have in religion.
Oh, that's not me. Oh, that's not me at all.
That's strange.
Oh, it's not me at all. I'd say that in my library, I know I have about 2 or 3 versions of the Bible that's there. I'm a Muslim. I have...
Wow, how many girls get to know that? Wow, it has never for once crossed my mind.
Interesting. I think quite a lot of people know I'm a Muslim, though.
Wow.
You just haven't...
I have not.
You see, that's the thing. I don't like being in a box.
Yeah, you said that.
And it's obvious that maybe it's working.
It is actually.
Because I've not been
because
put in a box.
if anyone just stumbled on this interview mid-session and they didn't hear the introductory part, it will be quite difficult for them to place you if you're a Yoruba man, if you're an Igbo man, or what part of the country you're from. Because like you rightly said, you want to speak English to someone from Middle East or from whatever, and you'll still be able to communicate with them. So I can say that your English is devoid of the typical accents of this guy na Ondo guy, this guy na Yoruba guy.
But perhaps I need to bring in the H factor now.
Okay.
To make sure that people know that I'm a Yoruba man.
Yeah,
Bring in
but
the
that still speaks to the fact that it will be very difficult for anybody to box you in anything.
That's the idea. So I read about religion. I read about Greek mythology. I read the Bible. I've gone through it. I found myself a copy of, the Old Testament, the New Testament, my book of Bible stories. I have these in my library. I also have, of course, the Quran. It's a single version, so the Arabic, the transliteration, the translation, the tafsirs, the hadith, the siros, all the books that are required for me to learn from for my religion, some of them instructional. Yes, so I practice my religion. I practice it as best as I can. I'm not perfect, but I do the very best I can with practicing my religion, and I've never identified less at any point in time, and never hidden the fact that I am a Muslim, and at every opportunity I get to, I do. But I'm not also going to be obnoxious and in people's faces with it. During Ramadan, I am fasting. If you want to put me in a position that I shouldn't be at that time, I will tell you I am fasting. But if you are not interfering with me fasting, I just do my fast and move on with it. So without bothering anybody with it. But yes, I pray 5 times every day. Go for Jumat service. Some of them at the mosque, some of them in my house. Sometimes I miss my prayers. I know I don't pray them at the time I should, and then I get home and then make up for it and all that. But like I said, I'm not perfect. I'm striving to be better with it, but I am a Muslim. I've always been a Muslim, and I think I'll just remain a Muslim for the rest of my life.
I love that. Wow. I don't think I can exhaust your, what's it called now? Your bandwidth. it's actually very, very, very interesting and very large. Now, so let's talk about automobiles and your love for cars. It's quite strange. Let me even start from there. Where did you learn from?
I learned from a lot of places.
Okay.
I did a lot of personal learning. I learned from mechanics that were practicing. Spent time with them, learned from them. Of course, learned with automedics as well in Lagos. Mr. Kunle Shonaike then had Ben Jamin Oko, had Bola Oba LJ. It was mostly social learning that was done. Also, of course, like I said, every certification possible in Nigeria, I've got it in the sector. And of course, in Dubai, in North America, Europe. So I picked up knowledge pretty much everywhere I could from. And so, yes, that has, again, the idea is I knew what I wanted to apply the knowledge to. So I was specific about what I wanted to learn and how I wanted to learn it. Some of the trainings were for exposure to how is it done here and why is it better to do it that way. Some were for exposure to what tools, what equipment are the best or are being used to achieve this. Sometimes it's for the knowledge of it. For example, when I was taking the course in electronic mobility, it was for the fascination of, okay, so what is all this about electric cars and how really do they affect the world? So I was looking at electronic mobility and the economics of it. So in doing that, I was able to understand the well-to-wheel approach, the tank-to-wheel approach and all of that, which, at the end of the day, I'm trying to say, what is the real benefit of going electric with vehicles? What's the future looking like in that area? What is the transition period going to look like? Is there really an incentive for the world to move towards that? The reactions are quite mixed. With knowledge that I gained and certification in that area, I believe strongly in electronic mobility. But I'd say that if we're still looking at it at an individual level, it might just be a case of us wasting too much time. Electronic mobility would be best suited for mass transit, cutting down really impactful carbon emission. Yes, I would buy into electronic mobility for mass transit than I will for individual use. Yes, because I believe I don't drive my car enough to cause the amount of pollution that should. But if 10 of us, 15, 20 of us put our cars on the road, when the option of mass transit is there, and the mass transit that moves most people, especially in Nigeria, is not electrified, we're not making much of gains really at the end of the day. So that's just...
Okay, what about in this mix now? We have the CNG question comes in, or discussion comes into play, because I know some of the arguments, apart from trying to cut down on fuel usage, which the federal government was campaigning vigorously on, everybody convert a car to CNG. I think apart from that, they also mentioned that we're trying to protect our environment and all.
Yes.
So where do you, in your own ranking of all this, electric, petroleum, where do you put CNG?
Okay, so context matters.
Okay.
Nigeria is a gas nation. We have about the 5th largest deposit of natural gas in the world. We have the highest natural gas deposit in Africa. The country next to us in Africa doesn't have up to 1/10 of what we have. And when we talk about the top 5 that we have in the world, the top 5 countries which Nigeria belongs controls about 60 to 80% of the natural gas deposit in the world, which is a lot. We have more. We have almost 10 times more petrol than we natural gas than we have crude oil. So we don't even have the amount of crude oil that we have in natural gas. So why have we not been using natural gas? Yes, for vehicles, CNG. You see, using natural gas for vehicle is a microcosm of what natural gas can and should be used for. When you go abroad, people cook in their homes. They tell you they pay for gas to cook in the home, right? They pay for gas for heating. They pay for gas to cook in the homes. It's natural gas. It's not our LPG. It's not the cooking gas we use here. They have piped natural gas the same way electricity runs around the house, runs around the streets where people pick from on the lines. Natural gas pipelines are everywhere over there. It's part of the city plan. We should be cooking with natural gas in Nigeria for starters. We're not even cooking with it. So our usage at the moment puts it that if all the vehicles in Nigeria, which is about 16 million, start running on natural gas today, we have about 100 years to run out of it. And we're not even using that much. So natural gas is something we should have been using for a very, very long time. But we are coming to it not too late, later than we should have. So the question of whether natural gas should be an alternative energy source in Nigeria is pretty much settled. We have it in abundance. What else would we be doing with it if we're not using it? That's number one. Number two now, for mobility, that is application in vehicles. Again, like I said about electric vehicles, we need to deploy it more into mass transit. That way we are making significant impact. Number one, it's going to cut down on the cost of movement because natural gas is actually cheaper. It will interest you that in the US, those yellow school buses you're seeing, a lot of their waste disposal trucks and the rest, they run on CNG. They're not making noise about it because it just makes sense and they have been doing it for a long time. A lot of school buses in a lot of states in America run on CNG, natural gas. So it's not a big deal. It's not something that we need. You know, we are announcing it as if it's something grand. And it's not. It's natural gas is just something that is being used all over the world normally. You go to Poland, you go to Italy, you go to Germany, you go to Belgium, you go to Latvia, Czech Republic, you go to China, you go to... These guys have been using natural gas for so long. Why are we making so much noise about it now? So is it usable in transportation? Yes. Is it sustainable? Yes. Does it have impact? Absolutely.
Out of the risk attached, because
Okay.
that was one of the campaigns that
Absolutely.
were going against it. That the gas, it can explode.
Yes,
It
you see,
is-
there is risk attached to the use of anything, petrol inclusive.
definitely.
We are hearing of petrol tanker fire all over the place. It has happened in Nigeria, at least in the last 12 months, more than 6 times. But we still keep using petrol. We have only had one natural gas explosion in Nigeria between 1999 and today. One. The one that happened in Benin. And we know why it happened. It happened because, somebody chose to go and fabricate something that looks like a gas cylinder that wasn't a gas cylinder and tried to fill gas into it under high pressure. That was not a failure of the natural gas ecosystem. It just meant that somebody dropped the ball. They were supposed to have inspected that vehicle for its suitability for refilling natural gas before they did, and that they failed on. And now I know that the company involved has put measures in place now to say, open, let's see the cylinder you have in there. Where is the certificate for this cylinder? Each cylinder has a certificate. And the certificate is supposed to be revalidated every 6 years to do a water test again to know whether it can still hold the pressure as it should. So if these measures are put in place, we will enjoy it. Now, natural gas is less flammable than petrol. So if you release natural gas in here, if the concentration is not exactly a certain percentage to air, it will never burn. Petrol, it doesn't matter the concentration, it will burn. Diesel will burn as well. So it is safer, I dare say, because I've been running. Okay, so between 2009 and about 2014, I was driving an LPG powered vehicle around the city. Nobody knew. I didn't make noise about it to anybody. There was no refilling facility in Ibadan until they installed one at Idiakwe. But at that time, I refilled mostly in Lagos. Somewhere in Alakpere, there was a popular gas station there. I just refilled into my car. I have pictorial evidences of these that I've used in this city for that long and nobody knew about it. It's not new technology, it's always been there. So I have used CNG now in my personal vehicle that I installed it on. This should be almost running to the 3rd year. And I'm not complaining. There's a sticker on my car that says it's CNG powered. And that's for the purpose of identification because it is regulation. And I see a lot of people doing it right now. It is wrong. It is absolutely wrong for you to run a CNG powered vehicle and not put a CNG sticker on it. It's just wrong. Because it's important to be able to identify you as a CNG vehicle user. Why is it important? For safety, for security. Why? If your vehicle is in an accident today and the FRSC guys or fire service want to come and rescue you from that vehicle, there are certain equipments they cannot use on your vehicle if it runs on natural gas. But you haven't identified it for them. You're putting their lives at risk as much as you're putting yours at risk. The same thing happens. You will not see an electric vehicle that they did not put in signal on it to tell you that it's either electric vehicle, hybrid, and the rest. There are certain lines that run through hybrid vehicles that the law enforcement and the accident and rescue agencies know that, we can't use a jackhammer on this one here. We have to carefully find a way to get this person. We have to shut down this system. Because there's a safety fuse, for example, for electric vehicles that once you pull that thing out, the electrification in the system is gone completely. All you have is the battery pack. So they know how to deal with it. So if you use a CNG powered vehicle, they will know that, running inside or under this car is a high pressure pipe that is carrying the gas. So they can quickly go into the boot or wherever your tank is and shut down the valve. Once they shut down the valve, they know that the tank is now isolated. In the line, there isn't natural gas anymore. They can cut through whatever it is they want to cut through. So for safety reasons, it is important you identify properly as this is a CNG powered vehicle.
I never knew that conversation on CNG is actually necessary. But then I've just learned a whole lot now.
Because I've seen a lot of people debadge their vehicles. Every conversion center is under obligations to put the sticker on the vehicle. That's the CNG powered vehicle. But I've seen a lot of people taking those stickers off.
I think because they don't know. Because you see, when purpose is not known, like someone said, abuse is inevitable.
Yes.
I'm so sure that most of the CNG stations putting the sticker, they may not even know the reason why they are putting it.
Well, it's
They
possible.
may just like, they ask us to put
They ask us to put it, yes.
So that's
I
why
agree.
are you defacing my car?
Yes.
Why are you putting this thing on my
Yes,
car?
yes.
For someone like me, I don't like stickers on my car.
Yes.
If you see any sticker on my car, it's either of my office or somewhere that I cannot refuse.
Yes.
So if I see anyone putting any sticker, I want to remove it too.
Yes.
So if I don't know that this is actually for my own safety,
Yes.
I might feel like I don't want it on my car. I want to remove it too. So
Yeah.
I think that's enlightenment.
We need to do that.
But then that brings another question to, because someone like you that knows this much, I would have expected that the federal government or whichever agency of the government is in charge should actually spotlight people like you who can explain. Well, recently we had a campaign from the federal government and they used a lot of Lagos, Two-Face, they took them to Dubai to go and see CNG, whatever. And there was a lot of uproar on the social media that, wait till Ola of Lagos won't tell me about CNG car. Is Ola an engineer? Is he a certified expert that will tell us that this thing is fit for purpose or this thing is good enough or is safe for us to use? And that is just another Nigerian factor. But then let me take you somewhere.
Is that wrong?
I don't think it's wrong, but then it could have been a mix.
But what was the purpose?
Okay.
Because I think that's the first thing we should query. What was the purpose for which, in the first place, that trip was organized? Perhaps to provide some level of exposure and get attention for people to start talking about it.
Okay.
You guys are in the media and PR, I'm just a mechanic here.
No. Yeah, a colleague.
and you know that publicity is publicity.
Yeah.
And if something gets people talking, either negative or positive, the purpose is served. So we can give a lot of uproar at this, but the truth is, a lot of professionals have been talking about CNG in Nigeria. Has Nigerian been listening? No, if they haven't been listening, if getting Ola and Two-Face and other people to spotlight it gets the conversation going and then allows us an opportunity to insert the professionals into the conversation or make people seek the alternative of, I don't want to listen, I want to listen to a professional. Perhaps that purpose is being met right now. So I don't fault it. Personally, I don't. I believe that there's an objective to it, and maybe that objective has been met.
You see, yes, I sincerely completely align with what you've said. But the problem with Nigeria is that there's no trust. There's no trust in the relationship between Nigerian leaders and the followers.
Yes.
So people don't really believe that what they can actually be proactive or they can actually do something.
Do you think it's between Nigerian leaders and followers or just Nigerians generally?
I think it's actually Nigerians, but then we have trust issues.
We have trust issues. We are very suspicious of ourselves, and we believe that everybody is trying to take advantage of you. So you have to be, as they would say, guided at all time, be guarded at all time.
I was telling someone recently that Nigerians are generally nice people, except for the fact that we don't want to be seen as the weakling or as being cheated. You just want to guide us. Because, for example, you're driving on the road, there is somebody else that could actually just allow you pass. But the feeling that if I allow this guy pass, the people behind me will start screaming and say, "Guy, why are they cheating you? They are riding you. Are you not?" And nobody wants to be in that position of people saying you are the weakling, you are the weak point. Yeah. So everybody just wants to be strong. And in the process of trying to be strong, in the process of trying to prove that we are not weak, we overdo certain things.
It's interesting, and I will assert this. Most Nigerians don't know how to drive. Most drivers on our roads don't know how to drive.
Because nobody attends the
Nobody should. But most of the people driving on the road should not be driving. I've been driving for quite a while, and people that ride with me would tell you something, which is, I rarely use the horn on my car. And when I say rarely, I think there are many times I could go months, perhaps even a year, without using the horn on my car on the road.
So how do you do it with the Mikras in Ibadan?
It's not just in Ibadan, in Lagos. I drive in Lagos, I drive in Ibadan. I've driven practically across West Africa. As it were, I've driven in Europe, I've driven in Asia, I've driven in a lot of places, and I've driven for a very long time. And I realized the fact that being on the road and being aggressive is stressful. And I don't want to be stressed when I'm on the road. So why should I be aggressive? If you indicate that you want to get in front of me, what does that take away from me? Please, by all means, get in front of me and go. I don't have a problem with that. I'm not going to struggle the road with you. If there's somebody in front and his car is moving slowly, the first thing that comes to mind is perhaps his car has a fault and it can't go beyond that speed. So can I overtake and go, or can I just stay behind him until I get an opportunity to do that? I'll just do that. Why should I harass him with the horn? At that point in time,
which is what a typical Nigerian will do.
Do you get? So why am I just being a nuisance, blaring my horn all over the place? Why is that so? It's just because, like you said, we are nice, but we're not kind people. We don't put other people into consideration. We only care about ourselves, our way, and what we benefit. It's a general thing. There are people that are kind in Nigeria, but it isn't really in the fabric of the way we do things to be kind. We're mostly nice people. Just be nice. Let people perceive you as a nice person. So a nice person would say, hey, hi, good morning, how's it going now, and the rest, and would see somebody deflating your tire in front of the house and will not tell you. And he greets you every day. A kind person will not greet you every day. But he will see somebody tampering with your car outside, will chase that person off and come and tell you that, you know what, I think you should move your car inside so that they don't deflate your tire. That's a kind person. He doesn't have to have a good rapport with you. He doesn't have to. He just feels that you are his neighbor and he owes a duty to his neighbor of care. A nice person will smile with his neighbor every day and badmouth that neighbor to their next neighbor every opportunity. And that's a nice person because he's perceived to be a nice person. So what you can't say in the person to the person's face, why say it behind their back? Really. So it's because of that we're quite aggressive, because we want to be seen as good people by some people, specifically because we can benefit. It's a typical thing that we find, and it's just not the best way for society to run. You build a house, you don't put people with disability into consideration when building it. Yet you donate to charity everywhere. The biggest act of kindness could have been, I'm building this house and I'm putting it in such a way that a wheelchair ramp can access any part of this house. Is that not kindness? Is that not consideration? Oh, I'm driving my car and at night, when I'm on a road that is busy with other people, I dim my lights so that I do not put them in a position of discomfort when they are driving on the road. Do we put that into consideration? Or do we just say, as long as I can see, let me drive? So when you put that vis-a-vis the kind of person we portray ourselves to be, where is the spirit of common good in society? And that is why we have most of the issues that we actually have. So on the road, people don't put other road users into consideration. The person walking on the road does not care about the driver on the road. The person will walk right in the middle of the road and blame the driver for not seeing him. Even though he could walk on the sidewalk, putting into consideration that there may be a car coming. The Okada person rides stuck in the middle of the road when the traffic rule says he should ride on the side of the road. And you will horn for him, for those that do the horning thing. You horn for him and it's like, fly now. Because he doesn't consider you. He hasn't put you into consideration in his own plan for that day. The Micra driver just wants to pick his passenger wherever he wants to pick it from.
Anytime.
Irrespective of what the circumstances, irrespective of if he's going to back up traffic all the way to, he doesn't really care. The road user, that is the driver, that is the one driving the car, does not care about other drivers, does not care about the person on the bike, does not care about because if the Micra driver wants to drop somebody, yes, he has done wrong by abruptly stopping to drop somebody, right? He has done that wrong. Now, blaring your horn at him, does it change anything? No. You're just going to irritate other people standing by there that you are making the noise. So, if he has already done that, just wait. Let him drop the passenger and move. And then you move. So, it's all about, are you putting other people into consideration? And that is the biggest issue we have on the road. So people that are taking stickers off their cars, people that are refusing to queue at filling stations, people that are even, a lot of people say a lot of things about CNG that they don't know about. And I'm like, why not just keep quiet? Why not just keep quiet and maybe seek the opinion of somebody who knows about it? And then maybe do some research. Because I've come to also learn that people take interest in what they want to take interest in. When people were picking up the new smartphones, they didn't go and learn about it. The smartphone company did not put up a video on
explaining
on how to use it.
Functionalities.
They also did not even write a major manual.
I can imagine manual coming with.
They didn't do that. All of us learned to use it as we bought it. So we did our own research with cell phones. Why? Because we're investing our money in it. Are you saying that was impossible for us to do with CNG as against running skepticisms around? Is that impossible?
It's not.
We could have if we really wanted, if we felt, okay, before I say anything about this thing, let me go and learn about it. So I don't come here now and say that this brand of cell phone is bad just because I don't like the design or just because I don't like the person that sells it. I would be saying that from a place of information. An informed opinion is what I want to form. I want to say it is okay, but everything that has a good side has a downside. And I think we just as people need to be intentional about learning, about knowing, so that when we speak about issues, we are speaking from a position of knowledge, not ignorance just rifling through us at every opportunity, and we just go out there and make statements, and it's hard. It's very hard to get our people.
It is actually very hard because, man, I'm just thinking as you're talking now, have you ever considered being in a position where you can pass this message to a lot of Nigerians? I'm talking of maybe a political appointment, maybe an office, or maybe a personal stuff, a personal movement, or a personal platform where, because trust me, I've known you for a while, but this is the first time we're having a very, very deep conversation, and I'm just seeing that you have a way of passing your message across that will, for anyone that is willing to learn, will be easy. And of course, plain as day, that this is what is right, this is what is wrong. So have you ever considered that?
Well, I try to be what you just attempted to flatter me into being.
Trust me, it's not an attempt to flatter. It's just a description of reality.
Well, we have a training academy that's in Ibadan here. And then we've been training students over the years. We've trained hundreds of students in what we do, mechanics. That's what I do at the moment. And what we have done, what we have been able to achieve with that, and that's why I said I don't like to be boxed in the corner. I want to identify with as many people as possible. We just concluded a training actually for a government agency where they brought in mechanics, practicing mechanics, about 40 of them, to come and upskill. It was done for free. The agency paid for it, even paid them stipends to come on. And they were existing mechanics. And why would I want to alienate myself from those people? So, if we are talking about, so how did you learn about this? All of us are the same. We went to learn it so we can relate. Because if I come from a position of way higher, they would often see what I say as utopian because it's not their reality. So can we relate at the level of their reality? When we need to relate at that level, we will. But when we are at this level, we should. So when they come in, we go down to in fact, I'll tell you, the training we had, we took a course in project management, took a course in ethics, Took another one in, can I remember now? I wasn't safety, health, safety, and environment. And because our audience were not great with English, we took, myself, two of my colleagues that were facilitators on the program, we took every class in Yoruba. Every class for 8 weeks. Every day for 8 weeks. We took all the classes in Yoruba language. You can imagine discussing health, safety, and environment in Yoruba language, discussing ethics in Yoruba, discussing project management in Yoruba. We did that because it was important that we don't stand in a place that is above where they can easily grasp what we are saying. So we ensure that we did that. We also have other trainings that we do, but the thing is, we try our best to train as much as we can. People, another downside we have seen to that so far is that because of the quality of the training we offer, the type of certification we have accreditation from international learning institutes as well, where they issue certificates to our students, diplomas and the rest. Our boys just get the certificate and japa, man. They leave the country straight. So most of our graduates have left the shores of Nigeria. We have those that work with Tesla, those that work in the UK, in the US, in the Middle East. We just have them there, up there, and they're actually flying the flag very well. But we need more people to train, and they stay.
Actually,
we need them to stay. That's the biggest problem.
I will see. Two questions are conflicting in my head now, okay. So let me take them one after the other. The first one I would say is this: the training I was talking about the other time, or what I was talking about, is like more like a mentorship class, not about the automobile skill. Now I'm talking of soft skills, and I'm talking of not business management. I don't want to put it in business management or whatever. I'm just talking of you as a person. And do you as in drag younger people closer to you to mentor them? Because trust me, I believe you have a lot of gem that most of these younger ones, if they have it, their orientation. I'm one of those people that believe so much that one of the major problems we have in this country is the problem of orientation. And I believe NOA should be one of the most funded and the most active agency of government because they have a lot to do. But then, unfortunately, I don't think they are doing as much as I would have wanted them to do. But then, the truth of the matter is, from this conversation, I've realized that you have a lot to give. Although your schedule is the way it is, but then I think you should please. I'm making a passionate plea now that you should consider mentorships. Trust me, there's another lady that I've always talked to like that. I have known online. We've met maybe once or twice, and I'm always on her case that please, can you consider mentoring other young ladies? Because there was a time I put up a post, I said if anybody should ask me that among all your Facebook followers, who do you want your daughters to look like when they grow up, that lady just readily comes to mind. Because I just love the way she does her thing, she carries herself,
I like
the way
to know
she pursues.
I have daughters.
I'm so sure you should know her. Odebode Karimat.
Oh yes, I do know.
Karimat Odebode.
I know.
I'll message that twice. Think about, and the day I shared it with her, she just sent me a screenshot of a father saying, please, I want to introduce my 13-year-old daughter to you. I want her to move close to you. I want you to help me mentor. I said, see, if I'm telling you and you got a message like this yesterday, then you should think, but I get that she's trying to put a lot of things together, so maybe that's why she's not there. So I'm thinking right now that I believe you should also do something, because trust me, Nigerians, like you rightly said, some people want to be kind, but they don't know that eventually they are nice. They are not that kind. They are not really kind. And I think we need to break these things down. I so want to believe that an average Nigerian just want to survive.
Yes.
Not that they are outrightly bad. Some of them don't have access to information. They don't have access to most of these things. So I believe if someone like you can create a platform to put them through, sincerely, we have a lot of our young people that will turn out good.
Okay, so I'm not here to signal virtues. No.
No, you're not.
I'm not a perfect person.
No, you don't have to be.
In fact,
nobody is actually.
Yes, and I'm not trying to be a role model.
You don't need to try.
I'm just me.
Mm-hmm.
Living life the best way I know how to, flawed at that, a lot of imperfections, but if there are things I can share with people that they will decide if it's beneficial to them or not, by all means I can always share that. I have quite a number of young people around me. I mostly work with young people. And I have a lot of young people that have been introduced to me to say, oh, please, can you help us talk to this? Can you mentor this person and the rest? I do the best I can with them. If I see opportunities for young people, I make sure that I let them know. If I get opportunity to talk to young people, I mean, sometimes just 10 minutes of conversation can go a long way in people's lives. Recently, I still had 2 young people that I engaged, interestingly, a boy and a girl, who were out of school. They finished school already, finished youth service already, but they were just confused about life. That what happens next? I don't know. And one of them sent me a message and said, I'm losing my mind. And I'm like, you know what? Let's just talk.
I think post NYSC depression or post NYSC reality check is not talked about enough, because when the allowance stops and you're like, okay.
No,
so
I think it even starts from post uni, before you even get deployed. Oftentimes people just don't know what to do with their lives at that point, because they have been busy for the past 4 or 5 years being students, and they have been just being that, knowing that they don't have anything else to worry about than just be a student. Now you then finish up and you're like, okay, so what happens next? Am I then just, okay, so am I an adult now? I mean, I must be doing adult stuff. What am I supposed to do with my life now? I think that happens a lot. And then NYSC gives hope. And then people are like, I'm doing something productive and all of that. And then, wham, that stops.
Everything stops.
And when that stops, you are now told that, okay, so that's about all the support you are going to be getting for the rest of your lives.
So now fly.
And then fly. And you're like, what is fly? That's where it's at. So I think a lot of young people get lost easily. And because we also have not created a society where they have people to learn from or be role model. And then when you talk to people and ask them about how they became successful in something, oftentimes we just give the glory to God. And so when we give glory to God like that, it's not instructive. I'm not saying God isn't a part of that process, but it's not instructive for young people. People that have become successful should write more than they currently write, with the hope that young people will read. We should, when we're organizing events for young people to attend, we should bring in people that have genuinely done something. Not the ones that have raised the most money, not the ones that have run the biggest businesses, not the one. Sometimes your best mentor is just somebody at your level who is doing it just like you, and the person is saying, hey guy, I understand that it's hard. It's hard at this level, but every day, you know what, I just try to pray, go to sleep, wake up, and just do it again tomorrow. So I think, and at that point you can identify that, okay, so it's not that this person has privilege than I do. If this person is saying he soldiers on tomorrow, maybe I should just soldier on tomorrow too, and see what is feasible with that, and then you move, from there. So it's not all the time you need somebody from the top to come and say things that I cannot relate with. Sometimes you bring somebody to a conference to come and say, so how do you do it? Somebody says, well, when you start your business and you are doing well, people will give you money, and when they give you money, you make sure you pay their money back, you pay the bank back. And this person sitting down is like, how do I even get the money from the bank in the first place? How much more paying it back? See, you're saying this. They're saying my business is not registered. I don't even know how I'm going to go about the registration of the business. So sometimes you need somebody that is pushing it at that level to engage people. And so we have to be selective, and also maybe somehow redefine what success is. Success has been put in such a way that the unit of measurement has become just money, and sometimes ostentatious lifestyle. I say all the time that money is so quiet. Money is not loud. It is people with money that are loud, and that is subject to what they want to do. But a lot of people that have real money are not loud about it. They just live their lives as basically as they can and not trying to announce it. We are not getting those people to talk to young people about values, because those ones will not come and talk about money. They talk about values. So we should let them begin to see money as a byproduct of excellence, of diligence, of being upright, of being, these fundamental societal values that we should promote, because we need a social re-engineering in Nigeria right now. Everything is being about money and ostentatious lifestyle and all of that. So perhaps, if we get more of that communication out there, we will get young people to, maybe plug in and then find people like that to engage young people quarterly, annually. It doesn't have to be the same person. Just bring a group of people together. Sometimes people that are struggling too, that will come and say, you know what, I'm still struggling with this myself. However, I need you to understand that it's not new to struggle about anything. When you struggle about it, yeah, you're struggling, but you get through it. So we need to engage like that. For me, I'm doing as much as I can while not trying to look like a saint, because I'm not one. I'm also doing the best I can within the confines that I can, not being in the faces of people that don't want me to be there. So if you want to talk to me and you get access to me, let's talk. I'm not always accessible. I know that, because I cannot be. Otherwise, I won't be able to do anything else. But if you get that opportunity, learn. I'm talking now, people are listening. I hope there'll be something they can learn from all of this. I'm just hoping. But let's engage more. Let's create fora where people would be able to engage young people, where we randomly pick people to say, okay, come and tell us what you feel about this. We vet them if necessary, and let them just come and talk to us about life generally. Let young people express themselves, and maybe we can figure things out together. It's important that we tell young people and make them understand that this life that all of us are living, none of us has lived it before. So nobody has survived living enough to come and tell us this is how it should be. They die. And we're also going to die. And even we, at this stage, are still figuring life out. So we are just their seniors in the process of figuring life out. Because there's no standard template at the moment. They're just nuggets here and there you can pick up and use. So we are their seniors in doing it. So they should understand that they are also on the same journey as we are. We're just ahead. So if you can pick from mistakes we have made, things we have done wrong to avoid, things we have done right that works, pick from it and give us an opportunity to also interact. But like you get a SS3 student talking to a GSS1 student. They're both still in school. They are not neither of them is a graduate. That's where we are right now. That's one thing we need to, I tell my kids this. There's so many things I'm going to do wrong. When you figure out I've done it wrong, when it's your turn, do it better. Because I wasn't given a manual on how to be a parent. And none of you, and this is something I say as well, each one of you is going to experience a different version of me. When I had you, I was at this stage in my life. That is the me you experience. I have you, I was at a different stage. So none of you is going to get the same version of
because I keep evolving.
Because I'm going to keep growing, I'm going to keep evolving. So each one of you will get what you can get, and that is it. So no two kids, I believe, no two kids have the same parent. Our experiences are different.
Wow. Now let me quickly ask this, because you mentioned something the other time about your trainees, and most of them are no longer in the country. For someone like you, and from our conversation so far, you seem to be that person that have that luxury of choice. You could have chosen to be anywhere, to live anywhere in the world. So why, in all of this happening in Nigeria, why have you chosen, out of all the places you could be in this world, to remain in Nigeria? And not just in Nigeria, to be in Ibadan. I want to know the attraction. I want to know what is it that has kept you in Ibadan, despite all this exposure and all these, what's it called now? All these, let me just say, the exposure and the opportunity to be anywhere you want to be in the world. Why Nigeria? Why Ibadan?
Nigeria is a beautiful country. Nigeria is an amazing country. Going through a rough patch. It doesn't take away from the seed of greatness in this country. Doesn't take away from the opportunity of greatness in this country. Nigeria is also a country where the land is green and fertile, and you can do a lot in Nigeria. Not without challenges, because there are challenges everywhere in the world. But in Nigeria, if you can understand the peculiarity of the challenge and innovate around the challenges, you have solved a major problem. So why Nigeria? Why not Nigeria? This is the only country that is going to be my country, no matter what happens. Even if I go to America today and I become an American citizen, I'm going to be a Nigerian American. No matter what happens. So the Nigerian route will not leave.
It's constant.
And you will hear things like Nigeria born British. Nigeria is still going to follow me everywhere I go, will chase me. Now I'm also not going to move my entire family out of Nigeria. Let's say I move myself, my kids, my brothers, my sisters. I will have one uncle, one aunt, one niece, one nephew that will still be in Nigeria.
Definitely.
So, am I going to escape Nigeria? Or am I going to be a part of the people that makes Nigeria great? And inspire hope for other people that Nigeria can be a great country. I'd like to be a part of that. So do I want to escape the problem, or do I want to be a part of the solution to the problem? I don't want to escape the problem. I want to be a part of the solution to the problem. Fundamentally, that's it for me for Nigeria. Ibadan. My lovely Ibadan. I love Ibadan because Ibadan actually, personally to me, Ibadan is Lagos is Lagos. I say that all the time. Ibadan still remains the capital of Southwest Nigeria. Lagos is Lagos. So at no point are we going to consider that country to be a part of Southwest, But I believe that Ibadan deserves its opportunities to make things work. Ibadan is, take away Ogun State, or your state generally is like the gateway to Southwest Nigeria. People leave Ekiti, Ondo, Oshun, and the rest pass through Ibadan to go get quality of life or service in Lagos. Can we not bring it to Ibadan?
So we're still talking about Ibadan. And the reason why you have chosen Ibadan of all places to be Nigeria. Yes, we've established the fact that Nigeria is a wonderful country. No doubt about that. Yes. Going through some rough edges and rough patches. But then what of Ibadan? Although if anybody's asking me, I will say because you don't like stress. Probably that's one of the reasons why you chose Ibadan, but I don't want to. Let me not preempt you now. Let me know why. Because Ibadan is a great place, could be a great place, but then Ibadan has a lot of its own downsides too, which many people believe is not very, very helpful for businesses, for brands and stuff like that. But your brand, your business, your person, and of course, you've been able to not just stand. You've been able to stand firm in the city. So tell me, why Ibadan, and how have you been doing it?
Ibadan deserves something good too.
Yeah,
same way. Because I see there's a lot of attention to Lagos. People always say, Lagos. Yes, a lot of things happen in Lagos. Yes, I have a lot of dealings in Lagos. We even have a chunk of our clients come from Lagos for our service in Ibadan. We have them from Abuja, from Ado-Ekiti, from Ilorin, from Oyo. They come to Ibadan. Interestingly, in fact, there's one of our clients that has his vehicle brought from Abuja every time for service. Yes, has a Range Rover and also has a Mercedes Sprinter. They bring them for service in Ibadan. We have people from Lagos that bring their vehicles for service in Ibadan. I believe that when you establish good service, people will seek it out. And if they want it, they will get it. That's number one. Number two, so if everybody goes to put the best of services in Lagos, what happens to other states in Nigeria? Why then are we complaining about rural urban migration? Why then are we saying that Lagos is saturated? because there are not much of alternatives anywhere else, is why it is saturated. So if we can bring to Ibadan the service that people will want, create, and I emphasize, create a market for it in Ibadan, then you can run it sustainably. People from other parts of the country will come for it as well. And then we will be able to grow and groom the economy of Ibadan. Again, Ibadan deserves good things too. And in doing that, one of those things that make a city a better city is the availability of goods, services, and infrastructure. And Ibadan has come a long way in terms of that. Ibadan has been improving over the years. The stereotype that has been created about Ibadan, we all know now that it's gone stale because things have really changed in Ibadan. Particularly maybe in the last 10 years, things have changed. We have our clientele in Ibadan. We haven't been for want of clientele, to be honest. We just know that there are specific demography that are very interested in what we do. And we have a lot of them in Ibadan. And they're doing business with us. And it is a good thing for them to know that they can get that kind of service in Ibadan. We are not without our teething problem too, because we're in Ibadan. We're not also, and that's when we started, we're also not oblivious of the issues in Ibadan. I mean, one of the biggest challenges in Ibadan would surprise you is talent, workforce. Is a challenge that we have faced.
I was thinking you would say pricing.
No, pricing has not been a problem for us. And I say that with all sense of appreciation to our clients. Pricing has not been a problem. We've had few challenges. Logistics has been a major challenge because a lot of things we want to use and just not in Ibadan. We have to buy from Lagos. So we have movement from Lagos to Ibadan on a daily basis for spare parts and all of that. Yes. We also have had challenges of workforce. This guy is trained, is a mechanic, he's good with what he's doing. Next thing is on the next bus is going to Lagos, relocating to Lagos to go and work. The ones that are left here, and then you have to start training. You have to train and continue to train. They will make mistakes, make errors, you train them again. Unfortunately, also, a lot of the students that we are training at our own academy are just leaving. They're just leaving the country because, hey, greener pastures, really. So we also then believe that perhaps we are not training enough, so we need to train more, produce more people that can even work with us. And then when it comes to even administrative work and the rest, we have talents in Ibadan. We have talents in Lagos, we have talents everywhere. We don't have enough. We have a lot of graduates. We don't have enough employable graduates. That's been a challenge because the most basic things are sometimes just lacking. Attitude. You can't train attitude into anybody. You can only give them the skills. You can't train diligence into somebody. It's either they are diligent or they are not. So those are some of the things we find. And so those are some of the challenges for Ibadan. But just like every other part of the country, I'd say these challenges are everywhere. Not just in Nigeria, all over the world. We just have to work around with it. So do you want to be utopian or do you want to build based on what you have? For me, I think we build with what we have. We'll do the very best we can to build with what we have. And that's why I will always acknowledge that there will always be challenges. There will always be inadequacies. The mindset we have is, yes, there will be, but we will ensure that every single waking day, we're putting effort into taking care of those challenges, inadequacies, errors, and other things that are not right yet until they are right. So we're not resting on our hours on that. So if it is not good enough now, be sure that the next time it's going to be better than it is now until it is absolutely satisfactory. Well, perfection, we leave that to God.
Perfection, you leave that to God. Wow, it's been a very wonderful and insightful conversation with Mr. Tunde Onakoya here today on the show. And a lot of things you've touched, and of course, I think, in fact, my head is oversaturated now. I'm trying to process some of those things. That you've said, which I will keep processing even after this conversation. I'm so sure myself will be looking forward to this episode because I have to, after editing, still have to sit down and watch it again to get some of those insights that you've touched about and that you've talked on. I know you to be a lover of art. I've seen you at a few events, especially when I know you love stage plays.
Yes,
I know you love art. I know you love. So tell me a little about that. What interests you?
Art is life. I think it's the rawest expression of human beings. Art is how it is. I love stage plays a lot. I know I've traveled to watch stage plays before. I like it that much. I believe art is a means of expression. You see, I personally am somebody who believes that there are multiple paths to success, and there should be. Some people want to be engineers, some people want to be artists, some people want to be actors, some people want to... Shouldn't everybody thrive in whatever it is they choose to be? If they make that decision and they thrive in it, it's better for all of us, because we will always need doctors. The same way you will always need electricians. The electrician will not be able to live a good quality life without a doctor. And the doctor will not be able to do his job well if an electrician doesn't get his light right for him. So it's symbiotic. So I love art a lot. I love art pieces a lot as well. Drawings, paintings. Yes, I love them. I love artistic expression as well. People who paint, who draw, who act, who sing. I love music. I love good music. I'm eclectic with it though, so don't ask me about genre. I'm very eclectic with music. I listen to everything. Oftentimes, it is the instrumental that I'm seeing at play in the way I'm listening. Sometimes it is the vocals I'm listening to. Sometimes it's the arrangement, really, that is getting to me. And you're like, what's this guy listening to? But I'm just enjoying the arrangement. So yes, I love art. I love art a lot. And I believe that we don't promote art enough in this part of the world. We're not appreciative of art enough in this part of the world. And we also don't pay enough for art in this part of the world, because art has helped many people. Art can be therapeutic. I don't think I can live in a space where there's no artwork. It's just going to be hard for me. It's just going to be hard. If it is nature, if it is whatever it is, I just want art around me. I want to be able to experience somebody else's expression. And that's why I like art. Sincerely do. And I mean, I look forward to, I go for, if there's a theater festival, I'll be there to show up there. Of course, I'll be in the back seat, just enjoying the art. So yeah, I like movies too. So it's art generally is just a thing for me. Wow. I think it helps me relax.
The vibe I'm getting from you. There are some first class students that look miserable because their life is all about books. Or you're like that first class student. That you see him at the party, you hear him in politics, you see him on the pitch playing football, you will still see him doing charity work, you still see him at the fellowship or at the mosque.
Because life is beautiful. Because life is really beautiful, and you should live it. Like I told you, I want to die empty. I don't want to die with a reservation or something that I maybe put behind or left behind. No. I want to have lived life reasonably well. Of course, not recklessly, but lived it well in such a way that I can be happy with myself on my deathbed.
Wow. It's been a wonderful conversation with you, and thank you so much for doing this with us. Thank you so much for sharing, and thank you so much for letting us know that you have a mission, and we cannot just we can't tap enough. We can't tap enough, because it's been one of the richest conversations I've had personally. Maybe because of the kind of face that I am in right now. This particular conversation is just like, in fact, I should pay you for what's it called now? For therapy.
Oh, interesting.
Sincerely speaking, thank you so much for coming around. We sincerely appreciate you, and we'll keep in touch. And I want to believe we'll definitely bring you back in one of those, in many more content or many more series. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
And thank you for the wonderful job you're doing.
Thank you so much, sir.
For giving the platforms to people like me. To be able to maybe say a few things that might make sense to some people.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it a lot, and I do not take the privilege for granted. And I want to wish you the very best, and that this becomes something that you really would want it to be.
Amen. Thank you so much. Thanks so much for being a part of the show today. Let's do this again. Don't forget to subscribe. Afoda Samuel on YouTube, and then we'll meet with another interesting guest on the next edition. Thank you.